There's a video that just came out that has a white man with his hands in the air and two cops just shoot him. They just shoot him. And what's the first thing that the cops do? They're like, well, you all are jumping to conclusions. Let's do the investigation of ourselves. Isn't it amazing how cops investigate themselves whenever they do something? I'd love for other criminals to do that. Commit a crime and they say, you know what? I'm going to invest myself to see if I did this crime. What percentage do you think they'd find out that they actually did it compared to the percentage where they find out, you know what, I actually didn't commit a crime? Come on now. It's just amazing to me. And then on Twitter, this person had a cop badge as their profile pic with the black line through it for, I guess, a cop that died. I think that's what it means. But they say they're not a cop, never been one, and don't have family members who are cops. Okay, I can't prove otherwise, so I have to take them at their word. But he says, looks like the guy put his hands down like he was reaching for something. Then they shot him. He was said to have had a knife and attacked some woman in some other place and put a knife to a kid's throat. I don't give a rat's tail what he did before then. I give a care what he was doing at the time when he was shot. And at the time when he was shot, he had his hands up and he had on a t-shirt that's called a wife beater, where it's really thin and it's like a tank top, but it's a thin white t-shirt. And he looked like he had on shorts. So he supposedly had a knife. And I'm like, who cares if he had a knife? Well, his hands looked like, no, his hands, from what I saw, went down to his wound when he got shot, and then he fell backwards. Had his hands up like this, did just like this, and then fell backwards. And the guy says, well, his hands looked like they were going down to get a knife. Okay, let's just say that his hands were going down to get a knife. He's 30 feet from the cops, and it's two cops at two different angles with a gun trained on him. Now, somehow, in this guy's mind, he had his hands down. He put his hands up like this, and then somehow he decided, you know what, I'm gonna go for this knife. Why didn't he go for the knife when he was putting his hands up? He's gonna put his hands in a surrender position and then go for a knife. And when he went for it, his head went down. When he supposedly went for it, this guy says he went for it. When he went for it, his head went down. No, it was because he got shot and his head went down to where his wound was. And the guy kept saying, well, he had a knife, he had a knife. I said, that's conjecture, man. That's conjecture. You don't have any proof that that's what happened. You have zero proof that he had a knife. Zero. So I said, okay, well, since we're just doing conjecture here, I think that these two cops made a bet that they were going to be the person to kill somebody first that day. Since we're just throwing out conjecture, right? We're just making crap up based on nothing. It's amazing to me how when a cop kills somebody, it's always someone trying to make a narrative where them killing them was okay, all because they don't want to just believe that everything that they've been trained since they were a kid about the cops being the good guys and the whole nine, they don't want to believe that the cops are extraordinarily corrupt.